Hey guys, welcome to a special episode here of Ballin in the Boot. I'm your host, Jace Lejeune with Gridiron Football, and I'm joined by Franklinton junior quarterback Jacob Crain. So Jacob's having a great season for the Demons. It's been kind of a magical season for him, and we're going to let him discuss about the type of season the Franklinton Demons are having. But Jacob, what's been going on, man?
Nothing much. Just got back from practice and ready for the interview.
Absolutely, Jacob. Well, let's talk about it. First of all, we're going to talk about you just missing out last week on our Gridiron Football Player of the Week. I do have to give a shout out, though, because really the Franklinton community went all out. They supported you. They did a lot of donations because donations actually help us with the bowl game that we put on at the end of every year. And really, I mean, kudos goes to Franklinton because it was just a bad week because Delta Charter
Yeah.
also donated a whole lot, voted a whole lot. So 21,000 votes you got. If it was any other week, man, you would have won. But talk about the support and how special it is playing for a community like Franklinton.
It really means a lot, and we haven't had a season like this in a really long time, and it just means a lot to our fans. And I'm really thankful for all the support they've given me, and without them, I don't think we'd be where we are right now.
Yeah, well, let's talk about it because I was actually at one of y'all games this year covering the game for y'all, and that was a thrilling overtime win over a really good Jules Sumner team, and they're actually competing for a district championship this Friday. So it just seems like looking at y'all games all year long. I mean, y'all had a thrilling win in overtime as well against Pine. Y'all win in overtime against Jules Sumner. Had to come back and by 8 points twice to win that football game, just to send it to overtime. You win by a touchdown against Lakeshore. You win by 9, a high scoring shootout against Pearl River. You win a one score touchdown game against Roger. What is it about this team, Jacob, that's giving y'all the ability to win these close games this year?
It's just the fight in our guys. Coach Salt's really engraved it in our heads, and just to want to win. And we've worked really hard in the off season, and we just want to put it all together and not let ourselves down because we work so hard, and we just want to let it out all on the field and for our fans, for our community, and we all accepted that we just want to win the state. We want to go to state and win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, last year, I mean, record wise, I know Coach Salter from Agio and really a couple of the key leaders went to our media day at the beginning of the year in our office. And last year, I mean, y'all won 3 games, but y'all were on the other end of those close games last year. Just having I mean, you played a lot last year. Just being in those close games last year, how much did that help this year and find a way, knowing that you've been in those close games last year, to figure out and learn how to win those games, type of games this year?
It's really pushed us because we really want to win, and especially for these seniors, we've got a lot of seniors out there, and they know that this is their last shot, and we can rely a lot on our offensive line, and we can push the ball down the field, and we can win those battles. We've really worked hard in the weight room. That's really what separated us from these last few years, and we're a very physical team, so we can win the dog fights, and all those close games just come down to how hard we've worked in the off season, and we really have. So it all comes together.
Yeah, it really has. Y'all have really been on a run this year, and it feels like it's a magical type of year, with everything coming together. And this year is no different. Y'all have already accomplished a whole lot already. I mean, y'all are 8-1, have a chance to go 9-1. Y'all have already clinched the district championship. So, how important was it to bring a district championship back to Franklinton after the win y'all had last week?
Bringing the district championship back just means a lot to our community. Sorry, someone's calling me. Um, shoot. Oh my god. Trying to get back.
Yeah, Jacob, just about winning a district championship and how cool was it to bring that back, that title back to the community?
Well, Franklinton really does have a good history, and we've had a lot of great seasons, and but the last few just haven't been going our way. And so bringing it back to the community has been really huge. And this is actually our first time having a first round bye.
Hmm.
And that's just means a lot to Coach Salt, Coach Shane, and everybody in this town.
Yeah, and it's cool to have not only Coach Salt Formaggio, right? Coach Salt being a part of it because he's done a great job with a lot of different programs, in the past, whether it was Hanville in the past or East Jefferson. He led them to a state championship. So he's been successful at a lot of different places. But to also have your principal, Shane Smith, been
Mhm.
the ones that have led this team to a state championship as well. Just talk about having those two around and also giving insight on Coach Smith as well. I know he's the principal, but how involved you think being a former coach, he has to be somewhat involved still.
Yeah, he's still involved. He actually comes out and helps the O line. And just because he knows this is a special season and this team can get to the dome and we can do great things. And it means a lot to the Coach Shane and Coach Salt, and they've really put it in our heads that we're the team that can do this. And I think all everybody in the team has realized that. So we're not going to waste this opportunity, especially the seniors, and we're going to go out there and play ball.
And for Coach Salt as well, what do you think's been the difference for him when he's took over the job last year? We took over the job last year, and this year being the coach. What have you really seen from him? What has been his ability for y'all to follow his lead and to really follow him, and which really helped y'all obviously this year. What kind of coach is Coach Salt Maggio playing for him?
Um, he's a hard one. He really toughens us up, and he really pushes us hard in the weight room. Because he has three sayings like weight room, classroom, and locker room. And I think we've all gotten really better with that because he expects a lot of us. He's been there in the state championship a few times, so he knows what it takes.
Jacob, do you know your stats this year so far, or you haven't really paid
I
attention to
guess
it as much?
1,300 yards. I don't know how many touchdowns really.
Okay, that's fine. But obviously, you've been leading this offense. You're a huge reason why y'all been successful. I know you're a quarterback, and I know you want to give everybody else credit, right? But you've been having a really good season this year as well. For you, what do you think's been the difference for you in order for you to pretty much elevate your game this year? What do you think's been the difference for you this season?
I think my focus has been a lot better. Uh, I did a lot of 7-on-7 this off season, and I've worked with the trainer Lester Ricard
Hmm.
for a while since last November, and he's gotten my arm a lot better. I can throw it in places I couldn't last year, and the coaches can rely on me. And
Hmm.
not only that, but I think I've learned a lot and been able to read defenses and make a lot of good decisions.
Yeah, and then Lester Ricard, he was a former Tulane quarterback, and has had some time in the NFL, so that's a good guy to learn under right there, and to really help you evolve as a quarterback. And talk about your strengths as a quarterback, right? You still have another year after this year, and you've been proven that you're one of the up and coming top quarterbacks, especially we talk about next year's class as well. For you, just to give yourself a message to potential colleges, it's never too early to start really showing yourself and giving yourself exposure, right? So to college coaches. So what's your message to them on what kind of quarterback they should be looking for when they are looking at Jacob Crain?
Well, I've got a lot of toughness, and I'll never back down. And I'm a great leader. I think I bring the people around me up, and they can rely on me. The offensive coordinator can trust me to make the plays when they need to happen. And I feel like I've got great patience in the pocket, and I can stay in there and throw it.
For you, what do you think's the next step for you to become the quarterback that you want to be?
The next step is I think I need to get a little bigger and faster, uh, get better in that part of my game, and just learning more about the defense. I feel like next year we're gonna throw it a little more.
Hmm.
At least I hope so, Coach Salt. But
Yeah, hopefully Coach Saul hears this. Let's air it out a little bit more next year,
yes,
right?
sir. Just to show what kind of arm I got and the accuracy I have.
Yeah, give a shout out to some of your teammates. I mean, y'all definitely got a lot of weapons. I mean, Cy Austin's definitely been a
Mhm.
player of the week candidate for us week in and week out, and you definitely have some weapons to throw the football to as well. So, give a shout out. I mean, Connor McGee too, another really good player for y'all. So, give a shout out to some of the weapons that you've thrown the ball to this year.
Yeah, Cy Austin, the running back. It's great having someone in the backfield that you can trust. I can rely on him, and I think the offense can, and everybody can. But it all starts with the O line, and they're just really smart and they're just really strong. They're push hard in the weight room, and they work work as a team really good. They're four seniors and one junior, so
Hmm.
we can really rely on them when it comes down to it.
You're taking care of those big guys, right? You're
Yes,
making
sir.
sure they want to get fed. They want to get some dinner from the quarterback as well. Making sure that you got their back, right?
And the receivers, Demicus McLean, number 3, he's been a huge a part of our offense this year. We can throw it to him deep, and he's got pretty good hands, I'd say.
Yeah.
And Connor McGee, when you get him the ball, he can make things happen.
Oh yeah.
And we've got like 6'7" basketball player, Jaden Garrett. You can throw
Yep.
it up to him and trust him to make that play.
Yeah, it must be easy on you. You can throw it
Yes,
to a
sir.
guy like that, right?
Mhm,
Yep, absolutely. Jacob, this team is crazy if we think about this, but right now that y'all are the number one seed in the playoffs, when we talk about Division Two non-select, and it's always been a bracket over the years that it's wide open. It's always been a bracket that anybody can really win in this bracket. And despite being the number one seed in the playoffs, I feel like that y'all still getting slept on a little bit.
mhm.
So talk about just a chip on your shoulder up from the team and how's that continue to help y'all as y'all charge into the playoffs?
It really does give us a chip on our shoulder. We haven't been this good in a while, and we're still a little under the radar. So we want to prove ourselves that this is how demon football is, and we just want to get ourselves out there by making a run in the playoffs and going to the dome.
Has there been any guys from that 2010 state championship team? Has Coach Salt or Coach Smith, any of those guys, brought any of those players from that championship team over to talk to the team, knowing that this has been one of their best teams since that team back uh back about a decade ago?
Um, we do have Coach Josh Robinson. He was a running back
Okay.
at the time, and he is
Yep.
our running back coach. So he's there all the time, and he know what it's all about, and he knows what it takes.
Yeah, Josh Robinson, I remember that name too. He was a bowling ball at Mississippi
Mississippi
State.
State. Yeah.
So yeah, he was. Him and Terrence McGee. I mean, that was a really good backfield back in the
Mhm.
day. But yeah, that's crazy. I didn't even know he was the coach on the staff. So
Yeah.
that's pretty cool to have a guy like that on the staff. But yeah, talk about this Friday. I mean, like yeah, it's crazy that the season has flown by as it has. I mean, just one more regular season game left. So talk about this week and making sure that y'all still got the momentum, right? I know most likely y'all going to have a bye, like you mentioned, a bye in the first round, and that's going to be really crucial. When you
Yeah.
get that week off, get the rest, you don't have to play another game to get to the dome, right? So that's really big. But how important is this week for y'all?
This week's just we got to see if we can play our best ball yet. I think we all know that we still haven't played our best, and we can show even more. And we need to work on a couple things. I mean, we're still the number one seed, but there's
Hmm.
always ways to get better. And we really want to lock the first round bye in because I think
Hmm.
there's still a chance we might not, if we lose this game, that we might not get it. So we really need to have that first round bye to get some people healthy and have one less game to go to state.
Yeah, I mean, pretty mixed up at the top. I mean, you just talked about it. I mean, right now y'all number one, y'all 8-1. Letcher's right behind y'all. that 8-0. Blackman's 8-1. Jennings is 8-1. Franklin Parish is 8-1. So yeah, there's like the first 7 seeds are all 8-1 or 8-0. So it's pretty locked up at the top. Very important for the Demons to get a win on Friday.
Mhm.
And I know that you're talk about yourself off the field. I know you just came back from church, so talk about a little bit about the signal caller off the field and what you're not doing when you're not slinging the football around.
Well, I'm actually a big soccer fan too. That's my other
Yeah.
sport, and I really think that helps with my footwork and just I like running. I run track, and I'm not the fastest guy, but I do run the mile and 800, kind of the mid distance stuff. But I do enjoy going to church. We have our defensive back coach is actually the youth pastor here, so
Okay.
shout out to him. And I just like having fun. Schools, I like school. It's
Hmm.
pretty good, but um,
Okay.
and shout out to Coach Matt, our offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Uh, Me and him have a pretty good relationship. I mean, we can get a little iffy at times. We have our moments at practice, but I really love that guy, and he trusts me a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Coach Matt, know him too. Well, has really helped us a lot too, and it's going to our media days as well. So he does a great job, and a big reason why y'all had the season that y'all had this year. And yeah, what's your GPA by the way, Jacob?
I think my highest is a 3.4. I don't really know
Okay.
where I'm at right now, but
Around that range,
yes,
sure.
sir.
Sure. Do you know what you want to go into after your playing days are over? Or you haven't really thought about it yet.
I was thinking about maybe going into coaching, but also
Mhm.
commentating. I'm
Yeah.
just big into sports, and as a kid, I would always like narrate in the games and stuff, and
Yeah.
I feel like I would actually be really good at that.
Well, just give me a call whenever you need an internship, man. We'll set you up.
Yes, sir.
That's for sure. We'll definitely set you up. Now to wrap this interview up, I appreciate you coming on, Jacob, in the middle of the week and everything
Yes, sir.
during your free time. Really do appreciate it. Just for the Demon fans, have a message for them for the playoffs coming up, and I guess your message to the Lutchers of the world, the Blackmans of the world, the teams in your bracket. What kind of team will they face, and once they see y'all on that side of the ladder?
They're facing a tough team, and they better watch out.
Yep. Simple as that, huh?
So,
Simple as that. Well, Jacob, I appreciate your time, man. Make sure, I mean, a lot of people have seen your highlights during the shows. We talked about it. I've got a chance to see you in person one time. Hopefully, get to see you maybe 2 or 3 more times, maybe by the end of the year.
yes, sir.
But was really impressed by how calm and poised you were, leading the team back to a comeback. And one of the best games I've covered in a while. It was earlier this year against Joel Sumner, and it was a great football game, and really lean that drive to get the touchdown, the 2 point conversion, send overtime, and then win it in the end. It shows you how this team has been that special this year. Jacob, um, congrats on the great season. It's still
Yes,
going
sir.
on, and
Mhm.
hopefully we get to talk to you a little bit more down the road, and hopefully we get to be me and you in the Superdome at the end of the year.
Yes, sir. I
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Go Demons.
Absolutely. Jacob Crain, Franklinton quarterback class of 2026. Guys, he still has another year left. So this could be a couple pretty good years for the Franklinton Demons. But for Jacob Crane, I'm Jace Lazerne. We'll catch you next time on another episode of Ballin' in the Boot.
Yes, sir.